The night did not begin with silence. It began with sound, a pulse, a pound, a rhythm that wrapped the skyline and pulled the shadows down, a night so alive it felt unbound, yet somewhere beneath it all, a secret drowned. It was a night painted in gold and neon light, a gathering whispered but never quite in sight, where laughter echoed soft yet tight, and every smile concealed a bite. The city shimmered, dressed in height, while secrets stirred just out of sight, and somewhere within that velvet night stood a man who felt something wasn't right. He arrived not late, not early, but on time, yet time itself seemed out of line, as though the seconds refused to chime, as though fate had rewritten its design. The doors opened slow with a hush, a glide, revealing a room too grand to hide, where voices blended, clashed, then died, like waves that pulled a deeper tide. And there he stood, calm but aware, Yu Menglong with that distant stare, a face composed, refined, yet rare, but something restless lingered there. The music rose, then dipped, then swayed, a hypnotic loop that gently played, while eyes met eyes but truths delayed, and every step a role was staged. The chandeliers, like frozen flame, cast golden light that felt like blame, as if the room itself became a witness who refused to name.
Who was there that night?
That question echoes, day and night, like a ghost that clings without a fight, like whispers caught in endless flight, refusing still to lose their bite. There was a woman dressed in red, with words she spoke but never said, her laughter sharp, her silence spread, like secrets buried with the dead. Her gaze would flicker, then withdraw, as though she saw what none else saw, a truth that bent without a law, a crack within perfection's core. There was a man in tailored black, whose smile felt like a planned attack, his presence smooth, yet something lacked, a warmth that truth could not retract. He spoke in tones too calm, too neat, like someone trained not to repeat, the kind of voice you'd never meet unless it hid something discreet. And then the circle, small and tight, those who lingered near the light, who laughed too loud, who watched too slight, who turned away from every sight that drifted close to something bright, too real, too close to fright. The night grew thick, the air grew slow, like time refused again to flow, like every second feared to show the truth it quietly came to know. He moved through rooms both wide and near, through laughter hollow to the ear, through conversations dipped in fear, though none would say what wasn't clear. His phone would light, then dim again, a message typed, erased then sent, as if each word held more than meant, as if each letter would repent. "Are you all right?" A question small, yet edged with fright, a phrase that danced in black and white, a flicker in the fading light, a plea disguised in something slight. But answers? None came back that night. Instead, the music climbed once more, louder than it was before, as if to drown what lay in store, as if to lock a hidden door. The crowd pressed in, then pulled away, a shifting tide that would not stay, a silent game none dared to play, yet everyone seemed bound to obey. At midnight's edge, the lights grew low, a signal only some would know, a subtle change in tempo's flow, a moment staged for things below. And there, just there, he paused mid-step, as if his breath he had miskept, as if the ground itself had wept, as if the night a secret swept across the space he slowly crept. Who spoke to him in that last hour? Who held the truth? Who held the power? Who turned the light into a cower? Who watched the calm begin to sour? There were glances passed like coded lines, small exchanges, hidden signs, a network built on thin designs, where truth dissolves and fate confines. A glass was raised, a toast was made, yet something in the gesture swayed, a tremor small that slowly played into the calm that soon would fade. The balcony. Yes, that place so high, where city lights like stars would lie, where silence hummed a softer cry beneath the endless, open sky. He stepped outside, alone, or so it seemed, where shadows stretched and faint lights gleamed, where nothing quite was what it dreamed, where reality felt loosely themed. But was he alone? That question lingers, sharp and cold, A story half that's never told, a fragment lost, a truth controlled, a mystery that won't grow old. Some safe footsteps followed near, too soft for most, too sharp for fear, a presence close, yet unclear, like something whispered in the ear. Others claim a voice was heard, not loud, not clear, just one faint word, a sound so slight it seemed absurd, yet powerful enough to blur what should be seen and what occurred. The wind picked up, then dropped again, like breath that held a silent pain, like skies that knew but would not explain, like time itself restrained the chain. And then, a moment broke the fragile thread, a silence screamed though nothing said, a shift in air, a sense of dread, a future shaped, a past misled. Inside, the party carried on, the music loud, the laughter strong, as if the night had done no wrong, as if the truth did not belong. But somewhere deep within that song, a note rang out that felt too long, a chord that twisted, dark and wrong. Who noticed first? Who turned around? Who felt the change beneath the sound? No one agrees, no one can say, for truth has long since slipped away, replaced by tales that twist and sway, that change with each returning day. The woman in red was gone by then, her presence lost among the men, her trace erased, her path unknown again. The man in black, he stayed behind, but claimed he left at 9:30, though clocks don't match, though lines don't align, though memory bends like fragile twine. And the circle tight? They spoke no more, they closed the door, they silenced what was said before, they turned the truth into folklore. What happened at that party's peak? What truth did silence dare to keep? What promise did the night not keep? What secret sank too deep, too deep? The answers hide in fractured scenes, in half-remembered in-betweens, in quiet posts and vanished screens, in stories stripped of what they mean. And still the question burns so bright, refusing rest, refusing night. Who was with him that night? Not just in body, not just in view, but in the moments no one knew, in choices made by more than few, in threads that fate somehow withdrew. Because a fall is never just a fall, not when the echoes start to call, not when the silence stands so tall, not when the shadows seem to crawl. A night like that does not forget, it lingers long in silhouette, a puzzle none have solved just yet, a truth the world has not met. So the story rhymes as others did before, with secrets knocking at a locked door, with whispers rising from the floor, with questions growing more and more. And somewhere in that endless night, between the dark and fading light, between what's wrong and what feels right, lies one last truth, still out of sight. A party filled with hidden sight, a silence louder than the night, a fall that still ignites the fight, and the haunting question, burning bright, who was really there that night?